slide through the night with the windows low. Lights on the skyline, yeah, we move so slow. Stay close, my crew don't fall.
Okay. And by the way, we are streaming this live right now. And if you're happen to be seeing us on the live stream, welcome to the 2026 alignment weekend together with the Scalendo community. As you can see on our screen right now, our amazing community is coming together to list out their goals and their key actions that they will take in 2026. And what we're reflecting upon right now is, what is the one thing that we can do so that we can make everything else irrelevant? Meaning, what is that singular action? What is that singular system that we can implement that will make us achieve our goals in 2026 and bring us that much closer? So let's dive right in to see what is that key action point or systems that we'll be able to apply. I see Hisham sharing with us, okay, in order to achieve that full settlement of at least one property loan is to be able to generate more passive income. Okay, excellent. And then over here, sharing with us, to achieve this 1 million ringgit in earnings is to create its own website and automate it, build a team and duplicate the system. Right? And how many of you would love to be able to duplicate your system? Type in duplicate in the chat if you love to be able to duplicate the system. Because when you learn how to build your funnels, when you learn how to build your websites, your landing pages, once you have everything set up in order, then it can be as easy as just duplicating it over and over and over again. It's like once this funnel starts monetizing, you're seeing it work. Great. Let me duplicate this model and then to see what else can I tweak. Maybe it's a different product, maybe it's a different service, and then just keep repeating the process, right? Seeing what is it that the market wants, go out there and get it and give it to them as we teach within our community the 3 key things. Okay, so excellent. Thanks for sharing with us, Hisham. Okay, and then over here, let's see. Okay, Christopher sharing, you offer a free 3 months access to my software through the Scalendo platform. Excellent. Okay, so being able to offer your 3 months access, and then that will help get your community and the ball rolling for your metaphysics community. And by the way, right, this is a great way to start putting out your brand, start putting out your message out to the world, so that our community and beyond are able to see what is it that you have to offer, okay, and then what is it that you're able to really serve towards all of them as well. Okay, so great to see all of that going on. Okay, and then let's see what else. Okay, now so labeling. So one of the key actions labeling will be taking is to create a funnel and website to start creating slides for her webinar, leveraging of AI. Yes, now is definitely the time to leverage of AI to create, right, our funnels, to be able to create our slides as well. And by the way, how many of you have already started using AI to help support your presentations? Type in AI in the chat if you have already started using AI to help you with your presentations. Okay, and if we are not leveraging off AI, what I like to say is that we are not using our second brain, essentially, right? It's like, within the Asian context, they like to say, why are you not using your brain? Okay, so if we are not using AI, we are definitely putting a lot on the table. Okay, and then I see this is from Fias, right, who shares with us. He wants to launch his Q1 webinar, AIOS, done with you, agentic automation webinar, VSL, and live webinar by the 31st of March 2026. with 5 agentic automations done templates, AI receptionist, SDR inbound, SDR outbound, customer experience agent, automated Google and Trust pilot reviews agents. And then the bonus is AI ClickFunnels certifications with automated campaigns, launches to help clients scale in addition to our done with you agentic optimization of a business in 6 weeks, ultra focus on scaling cohort of businesses on done with you workshops and 12-week done with you program, 20 clients, 4 to 5 niches, 2 million to 5 million with bottlenecks at owner two involved in the business and multiple bottlenecks stuck and unable to scale as well. Okay, so also great that you have a very clear niche over there. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, so the goal over here also updated. Wow, 90 kg. Okay, 90 kg by June the 30th. By June the 30th. And by the way, if you all are joining us live, right, the Zoom link is either in the comments or in the description. Do click onto it if you want to join in the fun here in our community. We'll be live across these 2 days from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. GMT +8. So we can learn and have fun together as well. Okay, I see Hisham also sharing with us over here. Okay, we've already covered on Hisham. Okay, and yes, share with us what are the key action points that you will take to help you bring yourself closer to your goals. Eileen over here sharing with us, okay, in order to help her get closer to her goals, that is to acquire knowledge, put it into practice, start working on the faces content and social media, and then to create habits that help build side hustle. Her side hustle, right, is to research on few others, how they've done their faceless content and create her own version. Learn different AI tools to help her kickstart the content creation. Excellent. Okay, so being able to kickstart your content building journey, especially if you've been through Side Hustle Studio, you know the tools, right? And it's just a matter of implementation. And with our community, okay, who have actually implemented the strategies that we have shared, the strategies that we have taught, right? They've managed to generate thousands and thousands of views on their videos, and it is not an exaggeration. What Simon teaches in Side Hustle Studio, it absolutely works. It absolutely works. And by the way, if you're interested in learning more about Simon's Side Hustle Studio, you can head on over to scalendo.com/hustle, and then you can see what's the special deal you can get on that. Okay, so that you can start building your faceless channels, and then to start potentially generating traffic and income from it as well. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing over here. And then Chup Y also sharing, one thing I can do that is critical: integration and automation supported by AI. Yes. All right. How many of you would love to automate your business in 2026? Type in auto in the chat if you love to be able to automate your business in 2026. Because most people, they talk about it, they hear about it, but they don't implement it. And well, if you follow us along in Scalendo in 2026, we'll be sharing with you more insights on how is it that you can automate your business, especially with our Scalendo platform. And you can always check out our platform at scalendo.com, and we have plenty of tutorials that we are constantly updating throughout the process. You can go to scalendo.com/tutorials to be able to gain access to it if you haven't already. Okay, I'll also share the link within the chat so that you can gain access to it. Thanks for sharing with us, Chup Y. Okay, so Dennis sharing with us 2026 goals to achieve a senior leadership rank by mid-2026 in his network marketing company dealing in stem cell patches. And then number 2, to earn a 5-figure monthly income after achieving number 1 above. Excellent. Okay, and then looking forward to learn more about using the internet and social media in the coming bootcamp to help him achieve the above goals. Wow, wonderful. wonderful, Dennis. Okay, clear goals for 2026 and looking forward to supporting you in the boot camp and our continuous trainings as well. Okay, and we really look forward, once you achieve that senior leadership rank, we want to be able to celebrate you. We want to be able to support you within our community. And by the way, how many of you are excited to celebrate each other's wins? Type in celebrate in the chat if you're excited to celebrate each other's wins in 2026. Because as you can tell within our Scalendo community, we are a wonderful, wonderful community of that provides great support, and we celebrate all wins together. Great to see all of the celebrates that are coming within the chat. And remember, we celebrate all wins. Okay, we celebrate all wins, regardless of whether your goal is okay, you've managed to achieve $1 million, or you have just started and made your very first dollar online. We want to celebrate you. Okay, so regardless of where you are at your journey, as long as you're progressing, as long as you're taking action, we want to celebrate you, and we want you to celebrate yourself as well, and to give you that grace, to give you that excitement through the process. Because hey, 2026, okay, is I feel that time will accelerate really, really fast. We are going to get caught up with our day-to-day jobs, with our day-to-day roles, and then things are just going to accelerate so rapidly that if we don't catch ourselves, we'll either be rapidly going up towards our goals, or we'll be rapidly going away further and further from it. So one of the ways to keep us aligned in 2026 is to celebrate all wins, right? To take notes of, oh, what are my wins for today? Or at the very least, what am I grateful for today? Okay, because with that foundation of gratitude and being able to celebrate throughout the process, it will provide you the solid foundations that you will need, right, to succeed in 2026 and beyond. And remember, you have a community. You are not alone. Okay, you are not alone. And how many of you feel supported within our community? Type in supported in the chat if you feel that you have been supported throughout our community, not only from us as the speakers, but from every single one of you. Okay, so great seeing why Chris, Anthony, Lei Bing, Saihab, Eileen, Dennis, Buck, all sharing with us, supported Johan as well, supported throughout, and we want to continuously build up this supportive environment. Okay, so let's dive back into the whiteboard and see what else as well. Okay, so let's see what other actions you all will be taking. If you haven't filled it in, by the way, this is a very, very important thing to add on. Okay, so I see Fias. Okay, target 80 businesses done with you and 20 done for you clients. Okay, done with you and done for you clients. Being able to be clear with your goals, tied in with a number, is very, very important so that you can keep moving forward as well. Okay, so great. Yeah, let's give a round of applause to everybody, all of the action takers, and all of you who are showcasing and highlighting. Okay, what are the key things that you will be doing in 2026? What are what goals that you are looking to achieve? Because other than goal setting, okay, all of us needs to master this word over here. Okay, is to have accountability within our goals. Because why is it that most people fail within their goals? Is because, right, in 2026, we're hyped up, we are excited, okay, and then, we set all of these big giant goals. But if we don't hold ourselves accountable, or if we do not have an accountability system, then you think, is it more likely or less likely that we will actually take action and go towards our goals, right? More likely or less likely if we don't have accountability? Share with us within the chat, more or less, okay, right? Type in the chat? Is it more or less if we don't have an accountability system, we are less likely, right? We're less likely to achieve our goals. So my question to you is, is it okay for us in a supportive manner to hold each other accountable, right? Type in accountable in the chat if it's okay for if we give ourselves each other permission to be kind with one another and to hold each other accountable to our goals. All right, so great to see the accountables that are coming into the chat. Okay, and maybe you may feel a bit hesitant and be like, oh, do I really want to be held accountable to my goals? Well, then that's something that you need to reflect upon to say, oh, why is it that you don't want to be held accountable? Okay, is it because you're afraid of failure? You're afraid that you're not able to achieve your goals, and then that you may feel a bit embarrassed by it. And by the way, there is no embarrassment. There is no shame in you being able to have your goals, right? And falling short of it. There's no shame or embarrassment to it. The most important thing is, that you actually put in your best effort. You held yourself accountable. You did your very best. And that's all that we can ask of ourselves, right? And how many of you agree that you will do to the best of your ability, right, to take action towards your goals? Type in best in the chat if you would give your best in 2026. Okay, and that's not to say you will keep pushing yourself until burnout. No, that's not to say that, but you will give your best within the context of while taking care of your health, taking care of your well-being, and what is important for you as well. Okay, so great to see all of the best coming into the chat. Okay, coming into the chat. So keep up your best, right? Keep up this environment of accountability. We've given permission to one another to do so, and to keep up that spirit with one another. All right. So great to see all of the best coming in, and I want you to really just keep this Canva board in your pocket, so that you can reflect upon it and gain inspiration from it within our community. Okay, within our community. Okay, and what I'd like you to do right now, okay, is just very quickly, okay, with the goals, with the one thing that will make all of the difference for you. Okay, what is the single biggest challenge or blocker that you see potentially standing in your way? Okay, it can be in terms of mindset, it can be in terms of strategy, it can be in terms of something more specific. Maybe it's lead generation, or maybe you don't know what to do, you don't have a strategy, you don't have the technical skills, don't have the resources. What is the one key blocker at the moment, okay, that you see is standing in your way? Okay, so take a quick minute or two to share with us within your post-it notes on what is your key blocker. Okay, and your 1 minute starts right now.
Like the chain, no corrosion. Late night vibes with a baseline jumping. Money in the safe, got a champagne moment. Shorty in the back with a glance, she blushing. But it's fan first, every back. Hey, slide through the night with the windows up. Lights on the skyline, yeah, we move so slow. Stay close, my crew don't fall. We shine when the world turns cold. Yeah, my crew stay gold. Ice drip, glow in the moonlight hit. Whole team meeting, can't ruin my fit. Whip so clean, can't scratch my paint. Money talk smooth, never say what I ain't. I'm feeling like a king when I walk through doors. All love, no stress, that's what we on. Crew worldwide, can't cage this flight. Still keep it humble when we toast tonight. Stay down, stay true. Only real ones know what the love can do. We don't break, we don't bend. It's the kind of bond that don't end. Baby, we slide through the night with the window low. Lights on the skyline, yeah, we move so slow. Stay close, my crew don't fall. We shine when...
Okay, let's start seeing what are some of your key blockers that's getting in the way. Okay, Leung sharing with us. Don't know what I don't know. Slow in getting the momentum. Slow in getting the momentum. All right, and when you feel that you're slow in getting the momentum, as long as you are taking one small action at a time, okay, one small action at a time, that is how you build an avalanche. Okay, I just want you to imagine the Swiss Alps. You've got the beautiful mountains of Switzerland. And by the way, I'm talking about Switzerland because one of our colleagues is having a lot of fun in Switzerland. Okay, so in one of the beautiful mountains in the Switzerland, right? You have a pebble. Okay, a pebble that just starts shaking out, okay, at the very very top, and then that pebble, once it gets dislodges, it starts moving down the mountain, right? It starts catching the snow along the way. Okay, what happens through that process? Okay, from just that one singular movement, okay, a small little pebble can create what? Share with us within the chat. Right? What can it create? It can create an avalanche, right? It can create an avalanche, and that is the same when it comes to achieving our goals in 2026. Just one small movement, just one small action, as small as a pebble, can make all of the difference. And the hardest moment in this entire journey is to just start. Okay, is to just start. And the good news is that because you're here within our community, because you have taken action, you have shown up today, you have participated within the group. Hey, you have already started taking action. That is your momentum. So let that momentum carry you forward. Let that inspiration carry you forward, and to create an avalanche of success within your life. So thank you very much for sharing, Leung. And then of course, we all don't know what we don't know. We are all ignorant in our own ways. I'm ignorant as well. I don't know what I don't know. But that's why we learn. We learn from each other. We have all of these training programs. We bring in different experts so that we are able to gain brand new insights to raise our awareness, right, in the areas that we don't know. Okay, so excellent. And I previously saw, okay, that Fias is joining us at 2:46 a.m. in the UK. A kudos to you, Fias, for showing up for our events, even though you're all the way in the UK. And thankfully, you'll be flying into our boot camp in March. So finally, our time zones are aligned as well. But kudos to your commitment for showing up. Okay, and then I see Fia's also sharing with us, one of the key blockers is case studies by specific niches may need to do done for you in 2 or 3 niches as soon as possible. Can use partner case studies, but at our own as soon as possible. Currently applying program to weekend ad tech businesses as well. Okay, that's great. Yeah, so when you're just starting up, right? Collecting case studies is one of the most important things within our business, okay? Because it's testimonials, it's case studies that will sell on our behalf. People want to see, hey, with whatever that you're sharing, does it apply to me? Does it relate to me? Okay, so for example, with Scalendo, it's like, okay, how does it apply to me? I'm in the coaching business. Well, the good news is that, hey, we have been in the seminar industry for decades collectively, right? And then we are using Scalendo, our all-in-one marketing platform, to build out our websites, to build up our funnels, right? To follow up with our clients and to market to people over and over again, to collect payments, so that we have our digital infrastructure set properly, and we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that's a real life case study, and we transact millions and millions of dollars through our system. And if our system weren't reliable, we wouldn't be able, we wouldn't be comfortable in generating that kind of volume through our systems. Okay, so that is an example of how case studies help sell our products, sell our services. So a good point, Fias. Thank you for sharing on that. Okay, and then let's see. Key blocker over here from Hisham, right? Business mindset, shy, don't know the best strategies, no coach. Wow, thank you for sharing with us, Hisham, right? Business mindset. The good news is with what you have mentioned is within our community, we'll be sharing with you more insights in terms of the mindset, as a successful business owner, a marketer, and a leader. And by the way, for those of you who have been within our community, right, for some time going through our programs, how many of you have felt a mindset shift? Type in shift in the chat if you have felt a significant mindset shift for yourself that has helped you grow within your business and even within your life as well. Because right, when it comes to generating success, when it comes to building out our business, as Tony Robbins says, that success is 80% mindset and 20% mechanics. Okay, 80% mindset and 20% mechanics. That's why as we teach our programs, as we teach our trainings, we also share with you our philosophy. We also share with you our mindset, the mindset that has helped us grow our business this far so far, and including the successes that our clients have managed to do. Right? It's like we work with 7-figure, 8-figure expert speakers, business owners, and collectively the businesses that we have helped, right? We've helped them succeed from 9 figures and beyond collectively. Okay, so don't mind us when we share with you a lot of mindset stuff. And by the way, how many of you actually love all of these mindset and philosophical sharing? By the way, type in the number 1 in the chat if you actually enjoy it, other than the technical stuff that we share, right? So that we know that we are also on the right track with all of you. Okay, so great to see all of the ones coming into the chat, right? And we will be bringing in introducing mindset experts within our community. Some of you may have already been exposed to our experts, but in 2026 we'll be introducing more of them, and to introduce their trainings and programs within our community, so that we have our mindset and path set up properly, right, to be able to move forward and then to achieve together. Because when it comes to creating and manifesting the life that we want, it all starts with our mind. Okay, and whether our mind is aligned with our heart and our gut, is there alignment within our system, so that we don't face resistance, right? It's just imagine if you're driving your car, and then you've got one tire that is deflated, and then your suspension system is out of whack, right? Your drive is going to be pretty rough, right? So we are here to help you smoothen it out, to tweak your vehicle, to tweak your system, to tweak your spirit, so that you are more excited, you're more enlightened to move forward towards your goals. Okay, so great to see that many of you are really, really into the mindset that we are sharing, right? And don't worry if you're shy as well. We have faceless strategies, just like what Simon shares in his Side Hustle Studio, right? You can still market yourself, you can still share your message to the world, right? And then and know that we'll be sharing with you a lot of strategies throughout 2026, right? We have already shared with you a lot in 2025, right? There's much more to go, right? And not to worry, within our community, we have coaches. Okay, we are here to support you. And then, of course, through our trainings and programs, if you choose to engage one of our coaches, hey, feel free to do so as well, right? So, for example, I have my Done With You program. Okay, where if you want to be able to generate and build out your funnel fast together with me, right, you can head on over to scalendo.com/fast to check it out, where I work hand in hand together with you as you build out your funnels. And then I'll be sharing with you, what are the buttons to click, what is it to do, so that you are guided through the process, so that you don't feel lost, while being able to imbue and share with you the different strategies that you can apply as well. So I shared the link in the chat if you want to check it out, scalendo.com/fast. And thank you very much for sharing with us, Hisham. Okay, and then let's see. right? Michelle sharing with us one of the key blockers: inconsistency, not disciplined enough, doing too many things, right? How many of you actually fall into this category as well? Type in me in the chat if you fall in this category where one of the key things that you don't take action consistently, and there's just too many things you're doing, right? You're trying to juggle all these multiple things, keeping the ball in the air, and then at the end of the day, all the things just fall down onto the ground, right? Yes, right. Hey, I admit, me too. Me too. I get caught in this cycle as well. And this is why, okay, this line over here, right? What is the one thing that you can do that will make everything else irrelevant? Okay, is a very, very powerful line. Okay, that whenever you feel overwhelmed, okay, this can be your North Star. Just focus on your one thing. What is the one thing that you can do consistently that will make all of the difference? So, for example, when it comes to weight loss, okay, the one thing that I can do consistently, right, that will significantly help me lose my weight is to just cut off sugars, right? To just say no to sugars. Whenever I see sugar being offered to me, I say no. Okay, whenever I have a choice, I look at a menu. All right, I say no. Okay, I look at alternative choices. I shift my focus towards other things. Oh, what is high in protein? What is healthy? What are the greens to go for? Right, and to create an environment where it's easy for us to focus on that one thing, right? And if your fridge is packed up with sugars, chocolate, and all of that, of course, right, with that sort of environment, it's going to be very, very hard to succeed. And that's why if you watch all of those major weight loss series, like The Greatest Loser or whatever, one of the first things that they do is to clear out their fridge, right? To throw out all the junk from their fridge, right? And then don't give your excuse on, oh, but I spent so much on it, right? Just clear it out so that you're able to easily focus and your environment supports you. And this is the key theme that you will keep hearing over and over again: is environment, 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 making sure that you are supported through the process. All right. So think to yourself as well, okay? What is the environment that you can create or you can immerse yourself in that will help you nurture you further towards your goals easily rather than being hard? Okay, because if you want to plant a seed in the desert, okay, right, it's going to be a lot harder than a nutrient rich ground that will nurture that very seed. So find an environment or create an environment that will help you support yourself in your growth very, very easily. That's why in Scalendo, our community, we create a nurturing environment. We create a supportive environment so that we can nurture your spirit, that we can nurture your own personal success. Okay, right? I see Dennis sharing with us one of the key blockers for him is recruiting a downline who is a strong leader and is hungry to achieve. Yes, right. Recruitment is a very, very challenging challenging task. Okay, and then is there any wonder why the headhunting business, right, is a multi-million dollar, if not billion-dollar industry? Okay, it's because talent is very, very hard to find. Okay, but at the very least, right, how many of you agree that there are many people with potential? Type in potential in the chat if you feel that there are many people out there with potential. Okay, and instead of finding people who are already leaders out there, okay, because most of the people, okay, who are leaders out there, they're probably already doing their own thing. Okay, and then if not, right, it's finding ways to align them together with your mission, with your vision. Okay, so for people, but because there are a lot of people with potential out there, maybe we can start asking ourselves a different question: how is it that I can find people with high potential, high possibilities, right, to bring them into my environment, to bring them towards my guidance and leadership, right? To help them realize their potential, to build up their leadership skills. Yes, it will require investment on our part, okay, right? To invest into them. It can be our time, it can be in our knowledge, our skills, and our experience. Some of them will stick with us, some of them won't, okay? But at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, okay? Some will, some won't. So what next? Okay, because the people who will follow you through the process, who appreciate the time that you have invested into them, right, and also choose to invest in themselves, okay, they are the ones that you want within your community, and will become your future leaders. So maybe the question is, how is it that you can start building a new leaders, right? Starting off with those who have potential, and to instill that hunger within them, to give them hope, to give them a brand new dream, to unlock and unblock their mindset. So great. Thanks for sharing with us, Dennis. Okay, and then I see Chup Wai, who's sharing with us over here. Okay, what is the single blocker standing in my way? Structuring a detailed action plan, taking actions, and devotion to this plan. Okay, right. So I can tell Chup why you are maybe you're a very a planner kind of person, right? And that's why you need a lot of details to be able to take action and devote to this plan. Okay, and one of the key things that will help you progress and achieve is to set yourself a deadline. Okay, to set yourself a deadline. And this is a message to all of the planners out there. How many of you are planners? Type in planner in the chat if you are a planner. Okay, if you are a planner, hey, that is a very, very strong skill, okay, being able to plan. Okay, I myself, I'm not much of a planner. I'm a very adapt and go with the flow kind of person. But if you are a planner, you need to set yourself a deadline and to be strict with your deadline, right? It's like regardless of whatever happens, you think you're not ready, you just do it, you just execute upon it. And this is the single biggest benefit of being in the speaking and training industry, is because once you have set a webinar, once you have set a date, commit to it, okay? So that you don't get stuck with your planning, you start executing. You already start filling up the room, people are already showing up. Hey, you have to show up as well, okay? And then you adapt with whatever plans that you have, and you deliver, okay? Roy sharing with us, planning and doing are two different stories. Yes, definitely. So that's how we put ourselves in high stakes situations, okay, along with a deadline so that we can execute. Speaking up on stage, being able to deliver, right, what we promise. Okay, these are all things that will hold us accountable. Okay, back to this word, to be able to hold us accountable and to take action and not get stuck with just planning. So thank you very much for sharing with us, Chup Wai. Okay, Sham sharing with us, right? Focus, info overload, need clear roadmap, step-by-step guide. Hey, through our programs, right? That's why we talk about mapping out your plan is important, and focusing once again on the one thing. Okay, and then and Eileen sharing with us, time is the main blocker. After work, low energy, and need a lot of discipline to just do it. Yes, right. And it's finding a way, right? If you find yourself low energy, one of the key things that you can do is to see, okay, with your physical form, with your physical body, how is it that you can nurture it, okay, to be more energetic, and then to be able to start building up just small little actions, to start taking action along the way. All right. And sometimes, okay, it can be our diet as well. Okay. Are we taking enough greens? Are we supplementing, right, towards what we may be lacking? Okay. When it comes to energy, my personal supplement stack, to stay sharp, I need to make sure that I have fish oil, right? High in EPA, DHA. And then second is cordyceps as well, the mushroom, right? Cordyceps mushrooms, right? So those are my two key supplements that has made the significant difference for me and to ensure that I am at my best. Okay, so start thinking for yourself. What are the things that you can do habitually in terms of what you eat, you supplement yourself, or maybe even exercise, the movements that you need to do so to reset your body so that you can have the energy and time to execute on what you want to do. Okay, so great to see all of these sharing with us. Once again, a round of applause to virtual applause to all of our contributors, right? And Sci-Hub sharing with us. Hi, Ching, what about mental block? Unable to transfer thoughts to written plan with clarity. Hey, the beauty of things is to if you are finding yourself right with a mental block, right? How many of you have ever faced a mental block? Type in block in the chat if you have ever faced a mental block, right? If you face a mental block, okay, leverage of AI. Okay, leverage of AI. Go with a Google Doc. Type out all of your thoughts. Don't worry if it's a mess. Where it doesn't make sense at all. Okay, and then just be able to transfer it into your into AI to make sense out of it. Okay, and one of the examples that we said was right, act as a productivity coach, and then to share with us what are the key things that you are able to take action on, right? To make sense out of it. AI is here to help us organize our thoughts. Okay, so that is a tip. Open up a Google Doc, a Word document, type out all of your thoughts. What is it that you want to achieve? What are your goals, right? And then let AI help you, support you in making sense out of it. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Fias. Okay. And then Fias, Sci-Hub. And then Fias also sharing with us what were the two supplements that I use. Omega-3 fish oil, okay, with high EPA, high DHA. And then second, okay, it is to use the cordyceps, okay, cordyceps as well. Okay, the mushroom. Okay, which brands? Well, I mean, I'm not here to up any specific brands, but basically the goal is to find high EPA DHA for your fish oil supplements, and then cordyceps, just ensuring that it is of a good quality. Okay, and then I'll just type in the words over here. Okay, high EPA DHA, okay, fish oil, omega-3 supplements, and then cordyceps. Okay, cordyceps. These are the things that you can look for. Okay, so you're welcome. Okay, so how many of you have found this useful and you start feeling more and more aligned? Type in aligned in the chat if you feel more and more aligned with you identifying your goals, the actions that you need to take, the one thing that you need to take. All right, align, and then remember to hold each other accountable in a kind manner, right? So that we stick on our path. Okay, we stick on our path and we keep moving forward together. Right, great to see all of the aligned and right, and by the way, how many of you okay feel inspired as well? Type in inspired in chat if you feel inspired as well, because when it comes to inspiration, okay, okay, the question is, how is it that you can realize the next version of yourself? Okay, right now you've got all of this inspiration. How is it that you can realize the next version of yourself? And this is where Simon will be sharing with us how to build the next version of you. And by the way, how many of you would love to have fun along the way as you start building this next version of you? Type in fun in the chat if you love to have fun together. Okay, so Lei Bing also sharing with us fun. Okay, So just a teaser for tomorrow morning, okay? When you join us again tomorrow morning, we will actually be playing a game together, right? How many of you love games? Type in game with an exclamation mark if you love to play games together, okay? And this is a very, very fun game where we will be helping you harness your business skills and your pitching skills as well. All right. So good to see all of the games coming in. So when you join us live tomorrow, we'll actually be facilitating a very fun game, right? And then, just make sure that you have your devices ready, right? You're either watching us on the laptop and then you have a phone ready by your side, or otherwise you have two different browsers. Okay. So just a heads up on that, right? So you'll be learning how to pitch. It's going to be fun. You will need to draw a bit. Okay, all right, and then if you choose to participate, right, it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and we'll be able to learn a lot from that. Okay, so good to see all the games. So make sure you join us on time tomorrow as well. But before we end today's session, right, Simon will be sharing with you how is it that you can build the next version of you and take ownership of your 2026. So without further ado, let's give a warm round of virtual applause to Simon Leung.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ching Yu. How was that session so far this morning? If you are already ready to be embarking on your 2026 because of what Ching Yu has shared so far, type in 2026 inside of the comments, because of course we want to officially welcome you once again to the 2026 alignment event, where we are hopefully going to work together to make this an amazing year for all of us. Great to see all of the 2026s inside of the chat. Good to see many of you once again, by the way. Nice to meet some of you for the first time. How many of you are joining us for the first time, by the way? If you are, type in the number 1 inside of the comments. If you are returning, if you're joining us once again, type in the number 2 inside of the chat. Leung, always great to see you. Always great to see you with your nice smile. Always turn on your webcam. That is the kind of community that we really want to have. So congratulations for being proactive. Now, just out of curiosity, how many of you started this year? We're a few weeks in already. How many of you started on like the 1st of January? Very, very strong with your resolutions. You got your goals. You're going to make it your best year yet, and you're ready to take action. If that was you on the very first day of January, type in me inside of the chat. Type in me inside of the chat. Now, my question to you is, how is this year going to be any different from any other year? Like all the other years, when you made the exact same goals, the exact same objectives, the exact same resolutions, and all the other years when absolutely nothing happened, how is 2026 different? What is going to make this year distinguish yourself from every other one that has been around? Any guesses or any ideas, any plans? The quick answer, and it's not the resolute answer, but the quick answer is that yes, you do have a much higher chance of success, hopefully this year, because you do have us. You have us as your accountability partners, as your potential coaches, as your potential mentors, but only if you allow that to seep into your life, only if you allow us to assist you and to help you, because at the end of the night, as much as we can lead you to water, we cannot force you to drink, right? So it really does depend on what you do with the brand new access to the power that you have right here, right now. By now, hopefully you already see, and especially with all of the twos, you're coming back again and again and again. Welcome back. This is what the community is all about. But hopefully you see that we're not just another live event, right? You see that this is not just another online course or lagi worse, as we like to say here in Malaysia, right? Even worse. We're not just another quote unquote guru. I mean, last night we had another event where we were talking about fake gurus, people who pretend to be people whom they're not. They pretend to have the expertise that they don't. They haven't been around even. They don't have the veteran status to be able to be called a guru, yet they claim themselves to be. We are different because, do me a favor and write this down, we are a community. That's why we're different. And that's the leverage that you have this year that we didn't have all the other years. We didn't have the opportunity to work together. We didn't have the opportunity to share with you our insights, our strategies. So we are a community that keeps showing up, a community that continues to over-deliver, a community that truly cares about your results as well as your success. Hopefully, you do see that. Do you see that? If you do, type in yes inside of the chat. Dennis says, yes, 2026 will be different. No Scalendo community in previous years, and we didn't have the opportunity to work together, right? And not only that, but yes, of course, we are a community who truly cares about your success because we have the potential now to be partners, don't we? How many of you are excited about the opportunity to partner with us? If that's you as well, type in partner inside of the chat, which means that your success is our success, isn't it? We have our best interest in mind to make sure that you get your results, because if you don't, then neither do we. Now, if you've been around for even a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months, how many of you see that we truly care about your results? How many of you see that we truly aim to deliver value to you? If you see that, type in value inside of the chat. This means, of course, that we want so much more for you, but more importantly, we want so much more and we expect a whole much more of you as well. And this is inclusive of interactions. This is inclusive of actually doing something, executing, showing up at the events. Are you committed to doing all that? Are you as committed as we are to be delivering and showing up at the events? Because the worst thing that can happen is for us to continue to show up over and over and over again, and every single time we have a slightly lower number of people, a smaller room, until we only get a small handful of you. So are you committed to continuing to show up, to remembering why you joined us here in the first place in the Scalendo community at this event here today? Are you committed to showing up and getting your results? If that's you, type in yes, just like Dennis, inside of the chat. Because results, success, freedom, that all sounds great, right? That all sounds great until some of us realize, oh, you mean it requires work? You mean it requires us to actually do something and to learn a few things and to execute and take action? How many of you want that though? The results, the success, the freedom. If you do, type in once inside of the chat. But here's the thing. In order for that to happen, something needs to change, right? Something needs to change from the previous year. Something needs to change from the last time that you set your goal, the last time that you set your resolution. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. We're not insane, right? We're not crazy to think that if we repeat our exact same mindset and our thoughts and our actions of previous years, that somehow, some way, miraculously, our lives are going to change this year without doing anything different. We realize that something needs to give, right? That's why today, that starts with the next version of you, a newer version, a better version that's actually going to do what you say and say what you do. Say what you mean and mean what you say. This is the version of you to finally make something happen, to change your life for the better, to finally make 2026 your year. The year that you finally do something, take ownership, and achieve results. Are you in? If you are typing in inside of the chat, Dennis shares with us most of my evenings and weekends are now on standby to give priority for Scalendo Zoom sessions. Thank you, Dennis. And that is the exact same kind of commitment that we expect from ourselves as well. We set our sides, our evenings, we set our sides, our weekends, we even set aside the days, the middle of the night, for a lot of the different things that we know we need to do. Because today, when we talk about the next version of you, we're talking about taking ownership of your 2026, taking ownership of your choices, your priorities. Because how you make your choices and the things that you decide that you want to do with your choices is going to dictate how your year is going to end. So for example, this is how we internally at Scalendo, this is how we are taking ownership of our 2026. A couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity in KL to sit down for a day with Ching, and with JC. And while we reflected on 2025, which is what many of us do, right? We sit down, we reflect on the previous year, and we decide, how are we going to make this year even better? You see, we reflected on our 2025 projects and the fact that one of our most recent projects in the last 6 months, maybe even less than that, it actually generated over $500,000. It became a $500,000 business in just 6 months. Now, just out of curiosity, how many of you think that is pretty good? If you do, type in good inside of the chat. As good as what some of us may think that it is, we want it to be better. We're entrepreneurs, right? We're businessmen. Some of us business women, and many of us want things to continue to improve over time. That is the name of the game, isn't it? We initially sat down and said, hey, how can we 10x this project? And then in the middle of the discussion, we said, how can we turn this into 20x? And before the day was over, we unanimously make the decision that our goal is going to become 50x of what we did last year. So now it's no longer just a reflection, right? It's no longer just a resolution like what we do every single year. It's not even about setting goals. This is about intention. Write that down, intention. Because when you set the intention to actually do something, this is intently different from when you're just setting a goal, when you're just making empty promises to yourself. Promises, many people actually say, are meant to be broken. You break promises to yourself, right? You break promises to others. People don't take promises seriously anymore. And that is the sad, unfortunate truth. Because when that happens, not only are you letting other people down, you're also letting yourself down. Yes, absolutely. Intention with commitment. And personally, I know my part. I know what I need to do to contribute to this 50x, to contribute with the community, as well to contribute to you. And what we also intend to do is to implement everything that I'm personally doing with all of our other projects, inclusive of Scalendo. So can I show you some examples of just some of the commitments and intentions that I had set earlier on this year? Do you want to see that? If you do, type in yes inside of the chat. You see, I want to invite you, when you take a look into the comments, you will see a lot of, or not a lot, but several of the different social media sites that I want to invite you to take a look at. You see, when I said that if I wanted to improve my results, if I wanted to 5x this, 2x this, 10x this, we really need to ramp up our marketing. Now, last year, what you would probably have noticed that I showed you many, many times over and over again is that when we do our AI marketing, and if I scroll down a little bit into some of last year's content, it's going to take a little bit of time because this is the intentions that I was talking about. If we take a look at what I was showing you last year, I was like, hey, you know, if you are to make an intention for yourself, you need to make sure that you show up every single day. And when we're talking about AI, when we're talking about videos, and I was sharing with you that every single day, which was absolutely true, every single day, I was posting AI content. I was posting videos. I was posting content with my AI clone, with my AI twin. All of these different videos, as you can see with watermarks on them, right? They are AI videos. But even though we're using AI content, it's still commitment, isn't it? It is still commitment to do this and to show up and to upload them every single day. And so that was what I showed you. I also make the commitment, and I showed you that I also did this every single day. But come January 1st, come the initial, even at the end of last year, we stepped up our game. And we said, if we are to multiply our results, even posting once a day, a video isn't enough anymore. As what you'll see inside of my Instagram accounts, for example, what you'll notice is that we really ramped it up, didn't we? We're not just posting videos every single day. We're also posting a lot of these different themes, a lot of graphics, images, infographics. We're posting a lot of different memes as well, because this is how you eventually grow. You see, with marketing, whether it's social media, whether it's videos, whether it's blogging or SEO or anything else, the more often that you post, the more often that you put yourself out there, the more opportunity that you have for exposure. So that's why if you are to multiply your results, and even if you're getting started for the very first time, you cannot just treat this like a hobby. You must treat this like a business. In fact, it's a lot easier when you go over and take a look at my Facebook page. The link, of course, once again, is inside of the chat. You will see that 10 minutes ago while Ching Yu was talking, right? I was working. I uploaded yet another video. If you scroll down a little bit more, you will see that this post was posted 4 hours ago. You will see as you scroll down that this one was posted 8 hours ago. This one was posted 10 hours ago. This one was posted 12 hours ago. You get the idea, right? 15 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 18 hours ago. So now, instead of just posting every single day, we are posting multiple times every single day, inclusive of the daily videos. Is that commitment? Is that intention? Is that taking action? What do you think? If you believe so, type in yes inside of the comments. And the reason why we do this, again, is because every single time that you post something is yet another opportunity for you to get that exposure, right? So with Side Hustle Studio, with even AI SEO, for those of you who are a part of that program, and if you're not, my question to you is, why not? Are you not serious about making 2026 your best year yet? Because if you are, then not only are you going to want to learn these strategies, but you also want to be at the very first page of Google, right? If we do a search, even for the final level of the game, which is the name of one of the titles of one of my videos, you can see that not only, by the way, are we page one, number one, right? Page one, number one out of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of search results over here for one of my videos, you can see on my Instagram, right? This is my video. But when you scroll down, you can see that we have multiple instances of page one rankings. How many of you think that's pretty darn cool? If you think so, type in cool inside of the comments. Google being the #1 search engine in the world, right? YouTube is #2. And despite this video having been uploaded only minutes ago, we're already on page one, #1 on YouTube as well. So again, if you're not taking full advantage of what we share inside of this community, then my question to you is, what are you doing here? Why are you not investing in yourself? Why are you wasting your time not taking action? Right? So if you're already a part of the AI SEO community, the side hustle studio community, and you haven't gotten your results yet, then what are you waiting for? You see, for this year in 2026, the reason why we say you got to take action and you got to take fast, massive action is because the internet moves fast, man. We are moving at lightning speed. And if you're not already taking action on this, then what about the next thing that we want to show you? The next thing and the next thing and the next thing beyond that. Because if you think that what you saw here was pretty darn cool, well, what if I were to tell you that that is just scratching, barely scratching the surface? You see, another intention that I made for myself is that on a blogging standpoint, everything that we have right here at simonleung.com/blog, and I had completely neglected my blog for the last number of years. I started it back in the day. I think it must have been more than a decade and a half ago, documented my entire journey from learning about internet marketing for the very first time, getting approached by different experts in the industry, attending my very first seminar, and every single step in the process. Doing my first speaking event, like everything is documented right over here, but things got busy, right? Life happened and life got in the way. And as a result, I neglected my blog. But as you can see, over the past few weeks, this was yesterday, right? January 23rd. This was January 21st. As you can see, over the past few weeks, we got back into it, right? This is not just resolution. This is not just planning. This is intent. This is taking action. And this is actually implementing what I said I was going to do. Remember, do what you say and say what you do. Do what you mean and mean what you do. This is what we mean by that, actually taking action, starting on the 1st of January, even before that, even. We already started sharing content on the blogs to ensure that not only for people who come to my page and come to my site are able to see this content, but just like how we did with videos, imagine if every single one of your blog posts now also give you an opportunity to show up in the search engines. And believe it or not, even though Google, YouTube, the #1 search engine in the world, the #2 search engine in the world, with the recent popularity, especially over the last couple of years with OpenAI, mark my words, Bing is up and coming. It's going to overcome. It's going to overtake Yahoo. It's going to overtake the other search engines that are out there. It's going to come to a very close third or even second place when it comes to the popularity of search engines. And it's actually very, very good news, because with Bing, this is another opportunity for you to get seen, and more people are able to see that. So on a search, you'll see that what is on page one, #1, posted on the 1st of January, right? This is my website. So every single time that you post a brand new blog post, you will see that you have the opportunity to also show up on page one, #1. Every single time that you post a brand new piece of content, you have the opportunity to be seen by the masses, again, on page one, #1. And how many of you have heard that it's absolutely necessary in order for you to rank on the search engines? You got to wait days, if not weeks, if not months, sometimes even years. And only if you're lucky enough and skilled enough will you even be seen in the search engines themselves. You want to be on page 1? That's going to take you years. Page 1, number 1, that's not even possible. Now imagine if you can get on page 1, number 1, not within weeks or months or years, in just one day, outbeating all the others hundreds of thousands in competition. How many of you think that this is an amazing skill to have? If you think so, type in amazing inside of the chat. But of course, that is search engines like Bing. But what about Google? What about the number 1 search engine in the world? 17 million in competition. You scroll down, we are also page 1, number 1 when it comes to the actual search results, not the videos anymore, not even the AI content, but in terms of actual search results, page 1, number 1. And this was a post that was only posted earlier this month, right? Here's another example. And this one's even cooler because if you want to learn not just how to get onto the first page of Google and get your rankings right down here, but much more importantly, with search engine optimization, there's also AI content now. Now, take a look at this. How many of you think that it's also amazing to be able to have AI, the AI search result of Google, talk about you? Have your search results being shown in the AI section, which is going to show up at the very top of the page. How many of you also want to learn that? If you do, type in AI inside of the chats. Because with all of that, this is what it means to truly execute, truly plan your year, to truly turn your vision into identity. It's not just about planning anymore. It's not just about resolutions. It's about the intention to not just take action, but also to learn, to make the commitment, to know that if you miss out on this opportunity to learn, then you're just going to fall behind because we continue to teach. We're not going to stop. We're going to continue to train you the newest and the best and the greatest strategies. And if you fall behind, then you're never going to catch up. It will take you 10 times as long to catch up. And before you know it, 2026 is going to be over. And by the time that you're finally ready to learn the AI SEO stuff, to get to the first page with your blogs and your articles and to automate the entire thing, by the time that you're actually there, we're already off to the next big thing and ready for 2027 and beyond. So how far behind do you want to go, right? How far behind do you want to be? How far behind do you want to be there sitting, watching the success stories flow by before you're finally ready to take action? Now, just showing up, by the way, just showing up to be here in this session, congratulations for taking that first step, for taking that action, because yes, this is an action. This invitation went out to way more than the number of people who actually showed up. So congratulations, and give yourselves a round of applause for being here, because just by being here and by being present, that says something about you. That says a lot about you, in fact. But make no mistake, this is not going to be another, hey, let's set your goal and write down a few goals that you might have, and let us know what your top 10 goals are and hustle harder just to make that happen. Now, in 2025, especially at the end of 2025, we have this reflection period, right? And then we slow down, and then we say, hey, what is it that we did this year that was good, that could be improved, that we never want to have as part of our lives again, and how can we turn that into a life lesson, right? And then January 1st, people went chong, right? They went gung-ho. They went super crazy and said, this is it. I'm going to start taking action, and I'm going to take off right here, right now. And you saw You saw with our social media, with our blogs, with our SEO marketing, we did the exact same thing. But right now, right here, right now, a few weeks into it, this isn't going to be yet another less hustle harder kind of session because we've been hustling. Hopefully, you've been joining us in hustling so far. Instead, I want to invite you to join me into what I call a pause session. A pause session that slows us down just a little bit more. It doesn't just slow us down, we stop. Stop and plan. Because before we even talk about what you want to do next in 2026, we need to talk about who you are becoming as we're already in this right now, right? We're not heading into 2026 anymore. We're already in 2026. Chinese New Year is going to be coming up very, very soon. And for those of you who celebrate, for those of you who might be in environments where it is celebrated, you will also realize that things are going to slow down. Once again, things are going to pause once again. But right here, right now, I want you to stop and say, before we head into the official Lunar New Year, who are we becoming? Because everything that we build in the next calendar year, this is where it starts. Today is not about another tactics session. It's not just about, hey, what's the next strategy that I need to implement? How can I use SEO and marketing and implement this as a technique into my arsenal? No. Today, it's about who you become before 2026 ends, so that by 2027, you're not setting a brand new set of goals and resolutions and objectives that you're never, ever gonna meet. Does that make sense? If that makes sense to you, type in yes inside of the chat. Let's talk about why most people don't even reach their goals in the first place. As what Ching you mentioned, if you plan to fail, then you fail to plan. Let's be honest for just a moment. Most people do not fail because they don't have a plan. Many people often do have a plan. I'm planning to do this. I'm planning to launch my AI video content strategies. I'm planning to sign up for Scalendo. I'm planning to attend the Scalendo bootcamp. You see, most people don't fail because of a lack of planning or even a lack of resources. Write this down. Most people simply fail because they're lazy. They make excuses for themselves to not do anything. They make up reasons to not take any action. They don't fail because they're not smart. They fail because just like many of us, and we're living that moment right here, right now, we start off with excitement, don't we? We're ecstatic. We're like, yes, a brand new year is here, and we're at an event where we're setting up our 2026 for absolute success. This is an exciting moment for us, isn't it? But what happens after the event is over? What happens after the excitement fades? What happens after you turn off your computer or you close the lid on your laptop? That excitement slowly drifts away, doesn't it? Dennis says their goals just simply do not excite them enough to move forward. Absolutely right. Make sure that you know your why. Make sure that you have that reason, right? Because if you don't set that up the right way, then yes, your motivation is going to fade. Plans always look good on paper, doesn't it? The numbers look amazing. 5x, 10x, 20x, in our case, 50x. Goals are set from pressure, not clarity. When you set those numbers, you're like, oh man, after a while, right? The excitement starts to go away. And you're like, this is a lot of work. What's going to happen? Well, life is going to happen, right? Doubt eventually is going to creep in. And you're like, well, you know what? I'm actually pretty comfortable in where I am right now. And then we slowly drift back to our mindset and our environment as what Ching was talking about in 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, and before that. We start to go back into our comfort zone and we're happy there. And that's why we don't grow. And that's why we don't expand. And that's why we don't improve, right? Every single exciting goal that once upon a time we had, they felt exciting in January. They're feeling exciting right now, right? By the time February runs around, it starts to become a little bit heavy. By the way, by the time March comes around, it starts to become a burden. And by April, we completely forget about it, right? Until towards the end of that year, when we start to get motivated all over again. It becomes an endless cycle, doesn't it? I want you to really, really anchor it for yourself emotionally. Like have an emotional attachment to this. Because what happens when you fail? What happens when you make a promise to yourself and you don't keep it? You failed yourself, haven't you? You failed as a role model to your family. You failed as somebody your kids looked up to. Because that's the kind of character you want them to perceive you as somebody who fails, as somebody who gives up, as somebody who takes the next shortcuts, the easy way out because it's what more comfortable, because it's easier, because the alternative was too hard and too much work. You see, people don't fail, they drift. So in order for us to hopefully anchor you away from that today, instead of asking, what should I do? We're going to ask you a better question. We're going to invite you to ask yourself an even better question. You see, goals don't start with actions. They start with identity. They start with identity. So it's not what am I going to do? The real starting point is asking yourself, who? Who am I? Like that Jackie Chan movie, right? Who do I believe I am? Who are you? And because your identity quietly controls your decisions, what we believe about ourselves also quietly controls our decisions. You see, this is a much more important question than you think, because who you believe you are, this is going to dictate your 2026 outcome. Your results at the end of the year, by the end of the year, are already being shaped today, right here, right now, in this moment, when you're able to answer this question. Because if you believe that you are not consistent, you are going to quit early. I've seen this 1,000 times. If you believe that you're bad with money, you're self-sabotaging yourself. I'm bad at making money. I'm bad at creating revenue. I'm bad at creating a lifestyle that I want. You're self-sabotaging yourself to not be successful. If you believe success is for other people, it's just not my fate, it's not who I'm meant to be, it's not what I'm destined to become, you will never, ever fully go for it. So 2026 is not building goals. It's built by identity, and that is your real starting point. Write that down. 2026 is built by your identity. And that is your invisible script, the script that you can't even see right now. Your scripts are stories that you're already living by, whether or not you really realize it. Because every single one of us is already living within a story. And some of us, some of these stories They may sound like this. I always start very, very strong, especially at the beginning of every single year, but I never truly finish. I'm just not confident like other people. Or maybe some people might always think to themselves, well, I missed my chance already. I missed the Black Friday sale. I missed the holiday sale. I missed the Cyber Weekend sale. I missed the opportunity to join at a very special deal. And so now I'm not going to join anymore because it's not the best opportune time anymore. I missed my opportunity. I missed my chance already. You know what those are? Mistakes that you continue to make over and over and over again. Because real leaders and real success people, it's not that they don't make mistakes. They do make mistakes. Lots of them. We make tons of them. But the thing is, we learn from those mistakes and we make sure that we don't make the same ones over and over and over again. And that's what we say, even though we missed that cyber deal, even though we missed that Black Friday deal, you know what? The next deal, the next best opportunity, the next best offer is right here, right now. And if I miss out on this as well, then I really missed my chance. The good news is that there's still a few seats left for the Scalendo bootcamp. And so if you somehow, some way is making an excuse for yourself to not be there, not be a part of history in the making, I don't want you to say 3 months from now, I missed my chance. I missed that opportunity, because your best opportunity is always in the now. The best time was always yesterday. If you missed it, you missed it. And if you're lucky enough to still have the opportunity right here, right now, then now is the next best time. You see, the tricky part is we rarely question these stories, right? We rarely think and dive deep into your chances, your confidence, your opportunities. We just live inside them. We're just like, yep, that's just who I am. I start my goals and I never finish them, and I'm just not confident. It's just me. I always miss my opportunities, right? And they accept that as their opportunities, as their life, as just their fate, who they are, right? Today is not about judging those stories. It's not judging yourself. We are our worst critics, aren't we? Today is about taking that step back, pausing, as what we're saying, right? And really noticing them and choosing better ones. Tosin says, this is so good. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm glad that this is valuable to you. This is good for the rest of you. Are you finding value from it? If you are, type in yes inside of the chat. And so hopefully, I know that we're only scheduled for 2 hours today, and we've already run 1 minute over. Hopefully you're okay with us over delivering. Are you okay with that? If you are, typing over deliver inside of the chat. And this is the bad habit that you will always see inside of our community, because we want to make sure that we over deliver in value to you. Let's talk about confidence for just a moment. You see, we make the mistake of always thinking, oh, that guy on stage or that guy on the screen in this live event, he is so loud, like what I am right now, and that must mean that he is super confident. You see, on the contrary, confidence is quiet. Confidence is consistent. Confidence is built over time. A lot of people think that confidence is loud, that confident people wake up feeling all ready, like all the time. They're just ready to go, ready to rock and roll, and that is just not true. You see, confidence is not hype. Confidence is not even personality. Confidence is not even, can I get personal with you? It's not even who I am. I'm naturally an introvert. I'm naturally socially awkward. If I didn't need to get out of bed, if I didn't need to get dressed, if I didn't need to do my hair, I would probably just stay in bed the entire day if I could, and I've done that. many times, many times. It's one of my favorite things to do. I mean, as long as you have your mobile device or your laptop, and you want to work from your bed, you don't have to leave your bed if you don't want to. Real confidence is quiet. It's when you have time for yourself to be able to do what you need to do. It's when you use that time to build, use that time to keep the small promises that you make to yourself. Confidence is when you show up even when no one is watching. Even when no one is watching. Even when you say, I have a live event today, I was expecting 100 people, but only one person showed up, you still go up, you still turn on your webcam, you still get dressed, you still do your hair, and you still give it 110%. You do this even if no one's watching, because you know that even when no one is watching, somebody is watching. Kids, your loved ones, people who look up to you, people who see you as an inspiration. Confidence doesn't happen before action. It comes because of action. It comes because you took that first step. And once you take that first step, you repeat it over and over and over. And as a result, you take action. Gia is asking, can I please have the link to the bootcamp registration? Oh, thank you very much, Ching Yu. I was just about to type that in, but good to see, Ching Yu, that you're also an action taker. We know that already, right? Ching Yu is an absolute action taker. In fact, he inspires me to be a better version of myself as well. So we're all very lucky to have Ching Yu as a leader within our community. And speaking of community, when we're identifying ourselves and we create our identity and say, who am I? Siapa? 谁? Lehay bingo. Who are you, right? You see, many of us, we still get stuck with that confidence. And we're like, I don't know who I am. I don't know if I can do this. You see, if that's you, then you're actually at the right place and at the right time. This is the true power of the community, because borrowed belief comes before self-belief. Here's something that no one tells you early enough. Your self-belief, your confidence, usually starts when that belief comes from other people first. Somebody believes in you before you truly and fully believe in yourself. Because if I look at you straight in the eye, and when we meet in person, Gia, when we meet in person, Lei Bing, and for those of you who will be joining us, maybe Anthony, maybe Celine, maybe Jason, maybe Chris, maybe Himley, when we get the opportunity to meet in person, I will look you dead in the eyes and I will say, I believe in you. I mean, I'm doing this right now, but it's not going to be nearly as powerful as when we do this in person, face to face. Do you agree with that? Because that's when you actually feel the actual intention behind it. You see, somebody needs to believe in you before you fully believe in yourself. It could be a coach. It could be a mentor. It could be rooms just like this, virtual rooms just like this. But this is why we built the community the way that we've done it. This is why we built the membership and created us the way that we did. Because we know that many of us need to be believed in. And that's what we're here to do. That's why events, rooms, and shared spaces just like this is why they matter. You don't just borrow ideas here. We don't just borrow from each other and say, can you like my content? Can you share with me your strategy? Can you share with me your step-by-step products and how we can do this and how we can do that? Yes, we do all of that, but in reality, what's even more important is we borrow belief. And over time, this belief becomes your own. You start believing in yourself, and that's how confidence grows. And that's why I want to give you permission right here today to dream. Not just to dream any dream. Write this down. Dream bigger. I don't know how big you have been dreaming, but I want you to dream even bigger than that without needing to know how, without fear. You see, right now, we're not just trying to figure out how we're going to do it. Today, remember, it's not about the tactics or the strategies. It's about your identity. Give yourself permission to dream bigger. You don't need clarity. You don't need logic. You don't need the full plan. You don't need anything else other, and write this down as well, honesty. You need to be honest with yourself. If fear wasn't in the room, what would you actually want 2026 to look like? Write that down in your notes. If fear wasn't in the room, what would you want 2026 to look like? I mean, is it to make more money? Is it to become an AI marketer? Maybe you're a part of Solo Empire and you want to become a solo entrepreneur. Maybe you want to be a content creator of sorts. Are those within your goals? Maybe you want to be a speaker, a trainer, an author. Write those down. Do you want to be a Scalendo partner? Work with us, partner with us. Do you want something that allows you to spend more time with your family in 2026? If those are your goals, and that's how you want your 2026 to look like, then write those down. Because I want you to start thinking about your 2026 vision. When I personally think about the future, I don't just think in goals. I think in terms of 3 horizons, and I want to share that with you, especially when it pertains to your year. Ask yourself, number 1, who? Who am I becoming as a person? Number 2, ask yourself, how? How does income flow into my life? Number 3 is who. Number 2, who is going to benefit because I exist? Who is going to benefit because I keep my promise to myself? Who is going to get rewarded because I decided that I was going to take action? When these 3 align, progress is going to feel extremely, extremely meaningful, not just exhausting. To elaborate, though, when you're asking yourself who, right? We're actually talking about your life. Who you are as a person, who are you becoming, who are you destined to be? When you're talking about how, this pertains to income. And for who number 2, this is your impact. Is it your community members? Is it your family? Is it you? Make sure that you have your answers to this simple framework, which are your 3 horizons of your year. Now, at this point in time, I want to invite you just for the next couple of minutes. This is our opportunity to pause, to reflect, and to write. Let's slow this down for just a moment. No phones, no distractions, pure focus. A short guided reflection where you're asking yourself. Ask yourself and write this down. There's no wrong answers here. This is just between you and you. Don't even type that into the comments. If 2026 went absolutely perfect for me this year, what would that look like? What would be different about me? What would make me genuinely proud? Proud about myself, proud about my progress. Ask yourself these questions about not just who you are, but who you want to become in 2026. If 2026 went right, if it's absolutely perfect, when I reflect back into this year, in December, how's that going to look like? How have I grown? What is my new identity now? Am I now an established speaker? Am I a Scalendo partner? Have I attended already multiple Scalendo boot camps so that my business is already set up? I know my next steps. I've got my sales, I've got my marketing, I've got my automation and everything else that I continue to learn, continue to execute, continue to implement are all now just revenue generating activities without needing to figure it out, without still needing to get this done. I know that when I go to these Scalendo boot camps, I walk in with my laptop and I leave with a business. And because I attended multiple times this year already, everything is already set up and I'm ready for that next step. Is that what's different about you? Or are you still stuck like where many of us are right now? If 2026 went absolutely perfect for you, how does that look like? Again, there's no wrong answer here. This is between you and you and you. That's it. And as we close out this session, keep in mind, this is a brand new start for all of us. For all of us. A brand new year, a brand new resolution, a brand new community, a brand new intention. But don't make the mistake. Like everyone else that I know, most people that I know, they only set their intentions at the beginning of the year. And once time goes by, their motivation fades and they're like, I'm not motivated anymore. I'm not inspired anymore. But then somehow, some way, one time in April, another time in June, another time in August, they're like, I'm inspired again. And it becomes a roller coaster of a cycle, right? It doesn't end. It never ends. So I want you to invite yourself, give yourself permission to say that right here, right now, not because it's January, not because it's the beginning of the year, not because we're talking about your 2026 goals, but because we live in the now. Now, regardless of when, now is a brand new start for me. Remember, you are not behind. You're just beginning. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not broken. You're becoming more and more aware, aren't you? You're becoming more and more aware of who you are, of who you're destined to become, and where we're headed as a community, as a team, potentially as partners. That's powerful, isn't it? How many of you believe that's powerful? If you do, type in power inside of the comments. Because at the end of the night, this room matters. This weekend matters. And because you're here, you matter. You are one of the few people, a fraction of the people who received an invitation and decided to show up. And even when it comes to the people who received an invitation, that was also a very small number. The majority of the people within our communities, the majority of people in the world did not even receive the invitation. But not only did you receive the invitation, you took action to register and you showed up. That is the first step. That is the first step of turning and transforming into the next version of you. And tomorrow, we get practical. Tomorrow, we'll talk about turning this vision into momentum. But for now, we're going to let this land. How many of you found value in the session that we shared with you over the past hour? If you saw value in that and you're going to take action on it, type in action inside of the chat. Type in action inside the chat. So with that, I'm going to close off my session. Really think deeply into what we have for you right here, right now. Prepare yourself for tomorrow's session when we turn our identities, our vision into actionable momentum, into taking action, into finally recognizing what you need to do next to become a better version of yourself. Give yourself a huge round of applause for being here. And we're going to invite Mr. Ching Yu Tan back to close off the show.
All right, and a round of applause to Simon for the amazing, amazing share and really bringing us to the next version of ourselves in 2026, right? How many of you are excited for that vision? Type in excited in the chat if you're excited for that vision and that you can really, really feel it within yourself. Because when it comes to manifesting and being your best self, is being able to imagine your future self and bring it into the present moment, because it is all within you, and your future self, your best self, is already waiting for you right at this moment to take the necessary actions to walk towards that direction that you want to be. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us live here in Zoom, and for those of you joining us on the live stream, hey, join us and have fun within Zoom as well. The link is within either the comments or in the descriptions, and we hope to see you tomorrow morning. So it'll be same place, same time, same link. All right. So thank you very much. Have a great day ahead, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.